First, humans found food, then they learned to grow it. Then, with just 10 simple plants, they stopped roaming and started building. These aren't just old crops, they are the bedrock of towns, of culture, of everything we know. A hidden history is about to bloom. So what does that world actually look like? The one built on just 10 plants? Most people picture our ancestors just flipping a switch, instantly going from hunting to farming. But it didn't happen like that at all. For a very long time, growing food was just a side project. A little extra to go along with a life spent on the move. But then, around 3000 BC, things started to change. For the first time, people began to stay put. For good. And the food they grew was full of surprises. In early villages in Peru, for example, people were growing squash and chili, but they hadn't even started planting corn yet. They even grew their own cotton to weave into cloth. It shows this was never just about food. It was about building a new way of life from the ground up. Today, we're digging into the 10 plants that started it all. Number 1. Garlic. Long before it was just a way to add flavor, garlic was serious business. In ancient Egypt, the people building the Great Pyramids were given daily rations of it. Why? They believed it boosted their strength and stamina, basically a performance enhancer for getting the hard work done. But it was also their pharmacy. Ancient medical records show garlic was used for everything from fighting infections to treating snake bites. It was a superfood before that was even a word. For early civilizations, this little bulb wasn't just seasoning. It was a powerful tool used to build an empire. But while garlic was fueling the workforce, our next plant was busy clothing them. Number 2. Onion. This was another staple for the workers building Egypt's pyramids. But for the Egyptians, the onion was so much more than just food. It was a powerful symbol. When they cut one open, they saw a pattern of circles within circles. To them, this represented eternal life. It was a promise of a world without end. This belief was so strong that they literally took it to the grave. Archaeologists have found onions buried with pharaohs, sometimes even placed in their eye sockets, believing it would grant them breath in the afterlife. It was a food that didn't just fill your stomach, it promised to sustain your soul forever. But while some plants offered a path to the next life, our next one completely transformed this one. Number 3. Comfrey. While the onion promised a better afterlife, this plant was all about fixing your body right here, right now. Long before modern medicine, comfrey was nature's first aid kit. It even earned the nickname knit bone for its incredible reputation. People believed if you broke a bone, a paste from its leaves could help it mend faster. They'd also use it on deep cuts and wounds. And they weren't just guessing. Comfrey contains a special substance that actually speeds up cell growth, helping the body heal itself. For early people, this wasn't magic. It was just powerful, practical medicine. But while comfrey put people back together, our next plant helped build their world. Number 4. Yarrow. This is a plant that helped build empires, one soldier at a time. On ancient battlefields, yarrow was the ultimate first aid tool. Its main job? To stop bleeding? Fast. The legend behind it is huge. Its scientific name, Achillea millefolium, comes directly from the Greek hero Achilles. The story goes he used it on his own soldiers' wounds during the Trojan War. But this wasn't just a myth. For centuries, it was nicknamed soldier's woundwort and was a standard part of a soldier's kit. For ancient armies, having this on hand could be the difference between victory and defeat. But while yarrow was patching up soldiers, our next plant was building the very foundations of home. Number 5. Chamomile. After the chaos of the battlefield, this plant was all about bringing peace back to the home. For thousands of years, this simple flower was the ancient world's go-to remedy for calming nerves and getting a good night's sleep. The Egyptians revered it, believing it was a gift from their sun god, Ra, and used it to cool fevers. Across the Mediterranean, Greeks and Romans brewed it into soothing teas to unwind. Chamomile wasn't for patching up gaping wounds. It was for mending the stress of daily life. It was the gentle medicine that helped people rest, recover, and find a little bit of quiet in a loud world. But while chamomile calmed the mind, our next plant was all about fueling the body. Number 6. Calendula. This bright orange flower wasn't just pretty to look at. It was a workhorse. In the kitchen, its petals were known as poor man's saffron, adding a golden color to soups and stews for people who couldn't afford the real thing. It was a simple way to make everyday food feel a little richer. But its real power was in medicine. Ancient healers crushed the petals into salves to soothe irritated skin, calm down burns, and treat insect bites. It was the ancient world's go-to for just about any skin problem. And if that wasn't enough, those same vibrant petals were also used to dye fabrics, bringing a splash of sunshine yellow to ancient clothing. But while this flower brought color to the ancient world, our next plant literally built it from the ground up. Number 7. Mint. This plant didn't build with stone or wood, but it helped build something just as critical to civilization: hospitality. In ancient Rome and Greece, if you had guests coming over, you'd rub fresh mint leaves all over the dinner table. It was a powerful sign of welcome, making the whole room smell clean and inviting. It set the foundation for a good meal. And after those huge feasts, mint was the go-to remedy. It helped settle the stomach and aid digestion, making it a key ingredient for cultures that loved to eat big. It flavored their sauces and wines, and even freshened their breath. But while mint made social gatherings more pleasant, our next plant was what made large gatherings possible in the first place. Number 8. Sage. When you pack a lot of people into one place, you have to worry about what spreads. Sage was the ancient world's tool for stopping the bad stuff, both seen and unseen. The Romans would burn bundles of it to purify their temples and homes before big events. They believed the smoke could drive away evil spirits and bad energy, literally clearing the air to make the gathering safe. But it wasn't just about spiritual health. Sage was a powerhouse medicine. In fact, its name comes from the Latin word meaning to save. It was used to preserve meat, soothe sore throats, and was even thought to improve memory. It was the ultimate protector for a long, healthy life. But while sage was used to preserve life, our next plant was used to create one of its simplest pleasures. Number 9. Rosemary. And that simple pleasure was flavor. But for our ancestors, rosemary wasn't just about making food taste good. It was about feeding the mind. Ancient Greek students would literally weave it into their hair before big exams, believing the scent would sharpen their memory. This powerful link made it a centerpiece of life's biggest moments. It was given to newlyweds as a symbol of loyalty and placed in tombs to promise that the departed would never be forgotten. But like many of these plants, it also had a tough, practical job. Its natural oils helped preserve meat, stopping it from spoiling in a time before refrigeration. But while rosemary helped preserve memories and meals, our final plant did something even more fundamental. It fed the entire world. Number 10. Nettle. Now you might be picturing a giant field of grain, but this plant fed the world in a different way. It was the ultimate survivor, growing absolutely everywhere. For our ancestors, the stinging nettle wasn't a weed. It was a free superfood, packed with vitamins and protein. Once you boiled away the sting, it became a reliable source of greens, especially when other crops failed. But its real secret was hidden in its stalk. The fibers inside were incredibly strong, and people used them to weave durable clothing, fishing nets, and ropes long before cotton was widespread. It was the plant that could both feed you and clothe you, a true foundation of survival. We've been on a journey today, unwrapping a hidden history. It shows us how much more these 10 simple plants truly were. From garlic-fueling pyramid builders to nettle both feeding and clothing early communities, each one played a vital role. They weren't just wild greens or herbs. They were medicine, tools for trade, builders of community, and the ultimate survival kit. These plants laid the very foundations for us to stop roaming and start building the world we know. It really makes you think about how our ancestors, with nothing but their ingenuity, turned a handful of wild plants into the bedrock of civilization. What other ancient secrets are still out there waiting to be revealed? If you're ready to keep exploring the incredible stories that shaped humanity, then make sure you subscribe. Don't miss what else is about to bloom from our past.